Lieutenant General Sir James Leith GCB was a Scottish soldier who served in the British Army, commanding the 5th Division in the Duke of Wellington's Anglo-Portuguese army at several critical battles during the Peninsular War between 1810 and 1813. Family background and education. He was born at Leith Hall, the third son of John Leith and his wife Harriet. His father was shot and killed during a drunken argument when he was only 4 months old. He was initially educated at home by a private tutor, before attending the grammar school at Elgin and Marischal College in Aberdeen, and after deciding to join the army was sent to a military academy at Lille. Early career. Leith entered the army in 1780, first serving as an ensign in the 21st Regiment of Foot. He soon became a lieutenant in the 81st Regiment of Foot, in which he was made captain on 3 December 1782. At the end of the American War in 1783, his regiment was disbanded, and he transferred to the 50th Regiment of Foot, stationed at Gibraltar. There he served as aide-de-camp to the Governor Sir Robert Boyd, and later as ADC to General Charles O'Hara, whom he accompanied to Toulon during the British occupation of 1793. After O'Hara was taken prisoner, Leith served on the staff of Major General Sir David Dundas until the city was evacuated in December, when he returned to Gibraltar. Leith was appointed Town Major of Gibraltar on 15 March 1794, and was appointed to command of an independent company of foot on 19 March. Leith soon returned home, where on 25 October 1794 he was authorized to raise a regiment of fencibles. The regiment was presented with its colors on 22 July 1795, and added to the army establishment the following day as the Aberdeen Fencible Regiment of Foot, but was renamed the Princess of Wales's, or Aberdeen Highland Fencible Infantry later in the year. In August 1795 Leith was brevetted colonel, with the rank of lieutenant colonel in the army. His regiment was stationed in Ireland, seeing action during the 1798 rebellion. Leith was promoted to colonel in the army on 1 January 1801, and his regiment was finally disbanded at Naas in April 1803. He was then appointed colonel of the 13th Battalion of Reserve, and from 1804, as a brigadier general, served on the staff in Ireland. In 1808, he was promoted to major general, and following the Spanish victory of the French at Belen in July, the Secretary of State for War and the Colonies, Viscount Castlereagh, sent Leith at the head of a second delegation to the Junta General of Asturias, with a view to seeing how the north of Spain could best be reinforced to prevent Napoleon sending in more troops through Iran, and isolating him in Madrid or Burgos. Leith arrived in Guijon on 30 August, and joined Sir David Baird's forces in November. Leith served in John Moore's campaign in northern Spain in 1808 to 1809. He commanded a brigade in John Hope's division that consisted of the 51st, 259th and 276th Foot. On 7 January at Lugard, Leith's brigade mounted a successful bayonet charge, inflicting 300 casualties on Marshal Nicolas Soult's pursuing French for the loss of only 50 men. At the Battle of Corunna on 16 January, Leith's 2,400-man brigade held the center of the line against Soult's attacks. On his return to England, Leith served on the staff, seeing active service during the Wellington campaign, before returning home at the end of the year suffering from Wellington fever. under Wellington. When Wellington created the 5th Infantry Division on 8 August 1810, Leith became its commander. The British battalions first assigned to the division, the 3/1 of a stone, 1 9th and 2 38th Foot, had been involved in the Wellington fiasco. These three units became the 1st Brigade, under the command of Lieutenant Colonel James S. Barnes. Added to this were two Portuguese brigades led by Colonel William F. Spry and Baron van Ebben. The 5th Division fought well at the Battle of Busaco in September 1810, helping to repel the French soldiers of Jean Reynier's 2nd Corps. Brigadier General Andrew Hay took command of the 1st Brigade shortly after Busaco. On the 6th of October, von Ebben's brigade was detached and Major General James Dunlop's 2nd Brigade became attached to Leith's division. The 2nd Brigade initially consisted of the 1/4th from England, and the 2/30th and 2/44th from Cadiz. For the rest of its wartime career, the 5th Division would include 1 Portuguese and 2 British brigades. During the winter of 1810 to 1811, Leith's soldiers helped man the lines of Torres Vedras, keeping Marshal André Masséna's French army from capturing Lisbon. Leith went on leave on the 1st of February, during which time William Erskine and then James Dunlop commanded the division. Leith was promoted to the brevet rank of Lieutenant General in September 1811, finally returning to his division on the 1st of December 1811. In April 1812, Leith's division played a key part in the storming of Badajoz, while the 4th and Light Divisions assaulted the breaches and the 3rd Division attacked the castle. The 5th Division escaladed the city wall at the bastion of San Vicente. The assault on the breaches was a failure, with ghastly losses. However, the French garrison left too few men to guard the rest of the defences, and both the 5th and 3rd Divisions succeeded in climbing over the walls. While the 3rd Division became bottled up in the castle, Leith's men got into the town, blowing the bugles and spreading confusion. The 5th Division panicked the French survivors so that a final effort by the 4th and Light Division broke through the defences. Leith's division lost over 500 men and the commander of the 2nd Brigade, Brigadier General George Townshend Walker, was wounded. In July 1812, Leith's 5th Division played an important role at the Battle of Salamanca, advancing in 2 deep lines, with the British brigades in the front line. The division's musketry defeated Antoine de Maucouin's badly deployed French division. Leith was wounded in the action and sent home to recuperate. In recognition of his services in Spain, Leith was made a Knight Companion of the Order of the Bath on the 1st of February 1813, and also received an honourable augmentation to his coat of arms. The investiture was held at Carlton House on the 4th of March 1813. He returned to command of the 5th Division on the 30th of August 1813, and was immediately severely wounded again in the bloody but victorious assault at the siege of San Sebastian on the 31st of August. For his services in the Peninsula, Leith was awarded the Army Gold Cross and Clasp for Corunna, Busaco, Badajoz, Salamanca, and San Sebastian. On the 2nd of February 1814 he received permission to accept and wear the insignia of an honorary Knight Commander of the Order of the Tower and Sword, awarded to him by the Prince Regent of Portugal. In the Leeward Islands, on the 15th of February 1814 he was appointed Governor and Commander-in-Chief of the Leeward Islands. When the news of the return of Bonaparte arrived, the garrison on the French island of Martinique showed signs of declaring their support for him. The Captain-General of Martinique, Pierre-René Marie, Comte de Voirod, assembled the troops, informing them that any of them could leave the island, but any any attempt to revolt against the authority of the king would be met by force, and punished as an act of mutiny. Meanwhile, Leith assembled his forces at Gros Islet Bay in St. Lucia, and landed on Martinique on the 5th of July to occupy the military strong points of the island, with de Vaurierad's willing cooperation. On the 8th of August, Leith's troops landed on Guadeloupe, where the Governor-General Admiral Charles Alexandre Lenoir had declared his allegiance to Bonaparte, and within 48 hours secured a complete capitulation, in recognition of his efforts on securing France's West Indies possessions. On the 20th of November 1816 he was granted permission to accept and wear the head cordon of the Order of Military Merit awarded to him by the King of France. However, by then Leith was dead, having fallen ill with yellow fever in Barbados on the 10th of October, and died on the 16th of October. Leith's body was returned to England, and was buried in the nave of Westminster Abbey on the 15th of March 1817. His papers are held by the University of Manchester Library. Personal life. In 1798 he married Lady Augusta Forbes, daughter of the George Forbes, 5th Earl of Granard. His heir was his nephew Andrew Leith Hay.